Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing a good old tag video. So I don't really do tag videos very often anymore. I don't know why. I do like watching them, but with the exception of like a few, like the mid-year freakout tag, there haven't been a ton that I've made the time for in my content schedule. Let me know if you want to see more tags, because I feel like I used to do them all the time like in the beginnings of my channel, but I don't know, I just don't really do them recently. However, Monica from Monica Kim created a tag called the BookTube Oldie Tag, and I really liked the questions and I really thought this would be a good way to reflect on my past years of BookTube. So I'm doing it. I don't think anyone tagged me, but I'm gonna leave a link down below to Monica's video as well as the questions in case anyone else wants to do the tag. But thank you, Monica, for creating this. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. So the first question is, how long have you been part of the BookTube community? So I've been making videos for 5 years now. I think my first video was a book haul. It was like my January book haul. Posted that in February of 2015, which it's crazy to think that I've been doing BookTube videos for so long. Number 2 is, what was your biggest misconception about the community before starting BookTube? I personally don't think that I really had any misconceptions, because before I started doing BookTube, I was making videos for a bigger, like more well-known comics channel, and being a bigger channel, that channel got a lot of hate. So it was actually super refreshing to start with a small channel and cultivate like my own personal audience and build relationships with people. And I feel like since I've started, the people that watch my videos have always been super nice. There's always like the one-off odd out kind of mean comment, but it's like very minimal compared to the nice people. I guess if I had a misconception, it would be that there would be a lot of mean comments all the time, and that really wasn't the case, which is a very positive misconception. Question 3 is, how do you think BookTube has changed since you first started? I think it's changed drastically since I first started. Reading vlogs were not a thing. Like no one had ever done that yet. And also I think that there are a lot of really creative videos nowadays, which is really nice. And also just in general, the BookTube community is so much bigger than it was when I first started making videos. I think that it's really easy to find people that have reading tastes that really align with yours, whereas in the beginning, I think that a lot of people were talking about the big YA books, and that was like pretty much what BookTube was. And there was some adult fantasy mixed in there, but it was like overwhelmingly YA based, which is fine. I mean, I still love and read YA, but I think it's great that people have diversified their reading because people have all kind of grown up on BookTube. So they've kind of like grown into older titles. And also there are people that have channels that like focus on nonfiction or like historical fiction or science fiction. I feel like it's much easier to find something that you're looking for, whereas in the old days it was tough to find channels that weren't primarily YA based. Question number 4, what is your favorite BookTube memory? I didn't like write down answers for any of these. I wanted to just answer them on the fly because I feel like they're more organic that way, but now I'm struggling to think of like a favorite memory. I mean, as a whole, I always love going to Book Expo every single year. I think that is just like such a nice time for the community to like get FaceTime with creators that you watch on your computer screen but don't actually get to see in real life on a daily or even monthly basis. So that's really pleasant. And then also like the author experiences that I've had as a result of this. I've gotten to interview some authors, been lucky enough to get access to some books that I've been really anticipating earlier on, which is super exciting. And also, I mean, of course, like friends. It's been really nice to make friends through this, especially like my best friend Alexa from Alexa Loves Books. We started as friends because of the online book community. We actually met more through book blogging than booktubing, but she's literally one of my best friends and I talk to her every single day of my life. Like not a day passes that I don't talk to her. So that is like really special. And it's really nice that someone who started as a book friend has become so like deeply ingrained in my life as a forever friend. And like we talk about everything, not just books. But do I have a specific memory? Okay, if I had to pick 2 specific memories though, I know I'm supposed to pick one, but I can never do that. One of them would be last year I got to go to the Simon Teen breakfast at Book Expo or BookCon rather, on Saturday, and they did like a round table of authors. So it was like kind of like speed dating, and the authors would shift after a certain amount of time, but to get to sit at the same breakfast table as Cassandra Clare, Wow. And Jenny Han. That was like dream come true just right there. And then my other BookTube memory that I would have to say is getting to go to the novel brunch a couple of years ago when Laini Taylor was the guest and getting to receive an early copy of Muse of Nightmares, which was, oh, I was so looking forward to it, but then to get to hear Laini talk about it in detail was just a pleasure. Question 5 is, what are some books that you were introduced to because of BookTube? Truly, like most of my favorites, I would say. It's been 5 years since I started doing book videos, so I can't even remember the last time that I went into like a Barnes & Noble or Borders. I miss Borders books so much, and just perused the shelves and been like, this seems interesting, I'm going to read this book. Now, anytime that I go into a bookstore, anything that I see, I'm like, oh, I think this person liked this book, or this person gave a negative review to this book. Like, I always have BookTube in the back of my mind. There's honestly not one specific book that I can think of that would fit this, but if I had to choose something, I would say the Shadowhunter world, because I read the first book, City of Bones, way before I started BookTube, and I didn't really like it because of the ending. I was grossed out by that whole sibling thing, and I was just like, oh, I'm never reading any more of these. This is disgusting. So I was rooting for these two characters to be together. And then one of my friends and I went to see the film adaptation together, and that was awful. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm for sure done with this series. But she kept begging me to read more, and I was just like, I don't know. And then honestly, like watching BookTube videos and seeing people love it so much, I finally caved in and like slowly caught up. And while I didn't ever love The Mortal Instruments till book 4, from book 1 to book 4, I was kind of like lukewarm on the series. I always thought it was just okay, but I wasn't obsessed with it the way that other people are. And then I really liked book 5, and then City of Heavenly Fire just like completely blew me away. And then Infernal Devices is one of my favorite series ever, and I feel like her books just keep getting better and better. So I got real deep into the Shadowhunter fandom, and I would not have gotten there without BookTube, because I probably would have just stopped reading after the first book if I hadn't had outside voices chiming in my head. Question 6 is, what is something that frustrates you about BookTube? This is like tough to think of off the top of my head, because I feel like I'm the kind of person that if something's not bothering me in the moment, I'm pretty good about compartmentalizing and like locking it away and just never thinking about it until it comes up again. And truly, like, there really aren't many things that bother me very much about BookTube, because if there were, I wouldn't be doing it. I don't use Twitter anymore, and that's been awesome. So I don't really know about all of like the dramatic stuff that happens unless someone texts me and fills me in on it. I'm completely oblivious, and ignorance is bliss. Okay, I thought of one thing, which is also not even specific to just BookTube. I feel like it's more of an Instagram thing, actually. Like, when I post photos of certain books, I'll get a DM that's like, can I have that book when you finish? Or like, if it's an arc, someone that I don't even know will message me and be like, can you send that book to me? And I'm like, no, like, I don't know you. So my like personal relationship with arcs is that I feel like arcs are a privilege to receive from publishers, and that people have put in a lot of work in order to build relationships with them and to obtain those arcs. And if I were to share an arc, which I do share my arcs with friends. The only way that I share an arc is if I know that I'm giving it to a person that is also going to read and review the book. Because when it comes down to it, arcs are marketing tools, and they're for the benefit of the author and the benefit of the publishing company, and hoping to like generate buzz and sales. So when I do share, I like to share with people that I know will be reviewing the book. I guess it bothers me because I would never in a million years think to message a complete stranger and say, can I have that thing that you have? Like, that just seems so like out of the realm of something that I would ever do. I would not feel comfortable doing that. So it makes me uncomfortable when people ask me, because obviously I don't want to be mean and I don't want to be like, no, but also I don't feel comfortable sharing something that I was entrusted with to keep more of a secret until it's released, if that makes sense. Okay. And question number 7, which is the final question, is what is your hope for the future of BookTube? I hope that the community continues expanding. I hope that we continue finding fresh new voices and fresh new perspectives on literature. I think that's one of the most fun things about BookTube, is that hearing somebody else review a book, like books are very personal experiences, so someone else that reads the same thing can have a very different experience with a book than you had with a book. And I think that getting another perspective, especially from someone who might be different from you, is only going to benefit you as a person, because it just widens your worldview and widens your perspective on different things. And I think it's great to not have black and white opinions about certain topics. So, some of them you gotta have a black and white opinion, but I think that shifting your perspective and shifting your focus benefits you as a person, because you end up becoming more compassionate and more empathetic, and just will not only benefit you when it comes to reading critically, if that's the purpose that you're reading for, but it also will just benefit you in your everyday life, like interacting with other people. So I think, yeah, I want to see BookTube just continue to expand as it has been. That's my hope. I feel like normally I prepare when I make videos, and I did not prepare at all for this because I wanted those like authentic, genuine, off the cuff kind of answers. So hopefully this won't be horrible while I'm editing it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know any of your answers to the questions, or like any of the answers from a viewer's perspective, because I would find that really interesting if you yourself are not a booktuber. And I'll tag anyone who wants to do this tag. I'm so rusty on doing book tags. So that's all that I have for this video, and I will see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!